Hi, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my second channel, Hannah Needs to Yell, and today I need to yell about Shane Dawson and the entitlement that he feels to make a Britney Spears documentary. And basically this video is a cry to Britney because I hear that her people are talking with Shane. And I just need to make it real clear to Britney and Britney's people, you do not need Shane Dawson. And I'm gonna ask you to stop working with him on this documentary. You do not want Shane Dawson's support. Dixie, the drama cat, who she has decided to become, is already sitting here, so she won't be popping up halfway through the video, but she will be here to receive pets as well as compliments in the comments. If you have any compliments for Dixie, please leave them in the comments below. So just to begin with, this video was partly inspired by the recent video that Repzilla did about Shane Dawson and the Britney Spears documentary, kind of recapping for people why Shane Dawson is bad and saying that he thinks it's interesting that he's making this Britney Spears doc and that it really looks pretty concrete now that Shane is doing this as a way of coming back from his cancellation. Repzilla was kind of going into why Shane was canceled, and I'm going to refer you to that video if you want like clips and photos supporting what I'm about to describe, because Repzilla has worse clips than I've even seen, because I haven't gone searching, because I believe people when they say that it's out there. How Shane Dawson is racist and bigoted and shows signs of pedophilia and bestiality, even if he means it in some kind of a joking way. He does it enough times that you're like, maybe it's not a joke? And all of that is alleged as to whether or not it's really true for Shane, but the clips exist. So I'm going to refer you to Repzilla's video if you want to see hard evidence, but I'm still going to talk about the reasons why, Britney, you do not want to associate yourself with Shane Dawson. He is using you for his comeback, and you need to tell your people to stop working with him. You deserve better. You are better. You need to cut ties with Shanathy Dawson as soon as possible. I think that Shane is trying to do this documentary about Britney Spears and the Free Britney movement as a way of like shining light on Britney and drawing attention to her case.
I mean that I think this is the premise upon which he will justify creating this docuseries or documentary or whatever it's going to be. If he's playing the hero and white knighting and trying to draw attention and bring justice to someone who has so clearly been wronged, how can anyone be mad at him?
And then we see him as a good person for trying to be involved in getting help and freedom for Britney. Britney doesn't need that from Shane Dawson. Britney has enough of her own publicity. She's Britney Spears. She's iconic. She's worldwide. Everybody knows who Britney Spears is. So many more people know her than know Shane Dawson, especially since she has personally recently come forward and made statements. It looks like she's regained control of her Instagram account, like she's posting stuff that previously she wasn't able to post and she's not doing anymore, where she would post these videos saying like, I'm fine, I just want everyone to know that I'm fine and there's nothing wrong and I'm fine. And we would all be like, you don't look fine, Britney, what's going on? She's not hiding her situation anymore. She's fighting for her own freedom. She doesn't need help from somebody as infamous as Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson trying to do this documentary, it's the most self-serving, selfish, ridiculous bullshit thing I've ever seen. You want to talk about performative activism? This is performative activism. Shane Dawson pretending he's gonna try to fight and stand up for Britney Spears. She doesn't need him. Are you kidding me?
He is the one who needs her.
Britney, you need to tell your team to stop talking to him. If he asks you to talk, I hope that you don't talk. Shane Dawson is not doing any favors for Britney Spears, okay? All he's doing is leeching off of her to try to ride her rise to fame and success and freedom and pretending like he's gonna do anything to help with that. If he does anything, it will be negative by associating himself with Britney. She didn't ask for his help. All this is going to potentially do is help Shane, maybe, but more likely hurt Britney by associating her with somebody so just generally bad. And there'll be the cross promotion amongst the fans. Britney's fans and stans span multiple generations. The younger ones probably know him if they're part of internet culture, but I'm sure that there are some who don't. And those who don't do not need to be exposed to his absolute filth. Yeah, Dixie's left now because she's so disgusting. Shane Dawson's history, his collection, his library of filth is offensive at all ages. That is another reason to consider maybe keeping him away from you. Because it is not going to bring anything positive to your fans. All he is doing is trying to leech onto your reputation to try to drag himself up. He is not trying to do anything positive for you, nor is he going to do anything positive for you that you can't already do yourself. You are Britney Spears. You do not need the association with somebody as gross as Shane Dawson, and I highly recommend that you and your team and everybody who is involved in this docuseries, if anybody is from your side, that you cease, that you stop all communication with Shane Dawson. He is only going to drag your reputation down in the process of raising himself up. And by the way, Shane Dawson, we see you. We see what you're doing here, and it is not okay. This is not the way to make a comeback. It doesn't look like you have learned anything during your break. You keep popping back up every now and then during this year off, and you're talking about how sad you are to be away, and listen, talk about your mental health, that's fine. Destigmatize it, great. Normalize it, love it. But you're never going to fix your mental health until you get to the root of it, which is the problems that you have caused and the pain that you have caused other people that you still have not really truly apologized for and really shown in any way that you're trying to fix within yourself. Maybe instead of posting Instagram stories about the vacations that you're going on and the luxury goods that you're buying, maybe put some of that money that you have an ample supply of, apparently, into like some college courses about race issues, about women's issues, about the issues of minorities in general. I bet there are plenty of college classes you could take online or remotely so that you don't have to show up to class in case anybody else in the class has some negative feelings toward you, so you can kind of remain anonymous but still intake the information. I'm sure that there are plenty of professionals, activists, professors who would love the chance to sit down with you and talk with you about these things. Pay them because it'll be their professional time that you're spending with them. But I'm sure that they would enjoy or would at least have good information to give you on these topics of racism, sexism, bigotry, bestiality, pedophilia, all of the things that people have found present in your past work. They can work with you to change those things. Why don't you spend some of that luxurious cash that you have on that and maybe post some Instagram stories about that, Shane Dawson, some content about that, Shane, showing us the change and the growth that you need to do in order to come back. As much as people might make fun of you or criticize you for posting about that stuff because it might look performative, whatever, at least then you would be receiving criticism for actually trying to fix yourself instead of receiving criticism for seeming completely above it all, completely unaffected, completely not even going to pretend to try. You can be unaffected by drama when it's drama. Like, there's drama out there, like somebody being a bad friend to somebody else, that's just drama. Like if somebody gave a bad product review and that seemed shady toward that brand, or if somebody was being two-faced to another influencer and being nice to them and then talking shit about them behind their backs, that's drama, okay? But what we're talking about with Shane is way beyond just drama. When it comes to drama, stay above it all. act unbothered, I don't care. But you should be very bothered about this stuff. And how fucking dare you try to claw on to Britney Spears and use her as a tool to lift yourself out of the hole that you have dug yourself down into. We see that. We see you doing that, and it is not going to go over well, sir. I just want you to know that. At least not here on this channel. It's just ironic that rather than do the thing that you are very capable of doing, you have the money, you have the time, clearly, to go to classes, to speak with professionals, to learn, to grow, to change, the one thing that we are asking you to do, all it costs is some humility, but you can't handle that, can you? That's too much of a price to pay. You can't do that. But what you can do is mastermind this way for you to come back
as some kind of hero, fake white knighting for Britney Spears, mansplaining the Free Britney movement to the people who've been involved in it this whole time.
And pretend that you've changed. You'll probably include a couple sentences in there in the narration about how you've, I don't know, talked to one black friend or something. But rather than redeeming yourself, rather than learning what you need to learn and listening to people and doing what we're asking you to do, you're going to grab onto the coattails of Britney Spears, who did nothing to you, did nothing to anybody else, is one of the purest people on these platforms, to be honest with you. She's just a cute little sweetheart who's been trying to get her freedom. You're gonna dirty her reputation to pull yourself out of the mud. Disgusting. So self-serving and so obvious, man. We see it. It's not even subtle. You're not doing her any favors. She's got this, man. If you really think you're doing her some favors, you need to eat that humble pie that you were suggesting for James Charles. The mainstream media is on her side. Celebrities are on her side. People who are not canceled right now are on her side. She's got support. She's got so much fucking support. She does not need you, Shane Dawson. And Britney, just, again, do not associate yourself with Shane Dawson. Tell your people to stop talking to him. I hope you don't talk to him. He is downplaying literal crimes he's committed, allegedly. He is downplaying such serious things, and you do not want to be associated with him, Britney. It will only bring you trouble. That's what I'm here to say. I'm done with this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts below. I hope you like the video. Subscribe, share it. I want Britney to hear this. Whether she hears it from me or from somebody else, I don't care, but she needs to hear this message that she needs to stay the fuck away from Shane Dawson. Thanks for watching. I still don't know what my sign out is yet, but I'm done with the video now. Bye.